the key point here, which again, the mainstream media won't pay attention to, which is Russia actually claimed to have had very negative and derogatory information about Hillary Clinton. That if they had chosen to release that in the weeks leading up to that November 2016 election, it would have very likely had a devastating...
Let's spill some fun gossip about Tulsi Gabbard and Hillary Clinton, like we're chatting with friends at recess. It's all about how Tulsi takes on Hillary with a super calm vibe, while Hillary's always acting like she's in a big drama. Tulsi's awesome at clearing up all the wild political talk with just a few words. And trust me, with Hillary, there's always a ton to talk about. So let's dive in.
In fact, this report shows Putin held back from leaking compromising material on Hillary Clinton prior to the election, instead planning to release it after the election to weaken what Moscow viewed as an inevitable Clinton presidency. In the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered, John Brennan, who was CIA director at the time, and the intelligence community intentionally suppressed intelligence that showed Putin was saving the most damaging material that he had in his possession about Hillary Clinton.
When Tulsi Gabbard decided to take on Hillary Clinton, it was like watching a super calm kid get ready to ace a game. No extra moves, no big fuss, just focused. Hillary, though, acts like she's the star of a big drama, always misunderstood. Tulsi's got this cool way of cutting through all the crazy talk in politics. She only needs a few words to make things clear. And with Hillary, there's always a ton of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, that essentially the documents that Russia claimed they had portrayed Hillary Clinton as having mental health challenges that would result in fits of laughter and fits of rage. It also pointed out some very specific physical health concerns that apparently leaders within the DNC were discussing amongst each other.
That's right. This wasn't invented intelligence like the Steele dossier. This was supposedly emails
and communication amongst
Tulsi doesn't even need to stretch the truth. Hillary kind of messes up her own story every time she tries to look good. Hillary's life in politics is like a long story of getting big jobs despite mistakes. She's been First Lady, a senator, Secretary of State, and ran for president. But she keeps leaving behind problems, scandals, and super awkward moments. Those would stop most people, but not Hillary. She keeps going.
It goes into great detail about the information that Russia and Putin had on Hillary Clinton, which included possible criminal acts, like secret meetings with multiple named U.S. religious organizations in which State Department officials offered, in exchange for supporting Secretary Clinton's campaign for the presidency, significant increases in financing from the State Department.
Hillary acts like messing up is just her thing, like a cat knocking stuff off a table. It's like she enjoys it and gets annoyed when someone points it out. Tulsi takes that whole story, flips it, and shows what it really is. It's about someone who's had every chance but keeps messing up, like a quarterback who can't hold onto the ball because it's slippery. She's been in politics forever, but her biggest win is just staying famous.
To that November 2016 election, the fact is, the opposite is true. It was intentionally withheld and not released because they assumed that Hillary Clinton would win that election. And their plan, according to these documents that were found in an investigation the House Intelligence Committee conducted into the CIA's creation of this January 2017.
Let's talk about the 2016 election when Hillary ran for president. Her team had everything: money, famous friends, and all the big support. They even had the media and cool celebrities on their side. But she lost to Donald Trump, who everyone said couldn't win. That wasn't just a loss. It was a huge oops, like the biggest mistake ever. Tulsi says Hillary didn't just trip. She fell flat and blamed the ground. That big loss wasn't just bad luck or a one-time thing.
They also had documents that showed the patronage of the State Department to State Department employees who would go and support Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. There were high-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and that then Secretary Clinton was allegedly on a daily regimen of heavy.
It came from years of acting like she deserved everything. Tulsi doesn't yell. She just points out what happened. Hillary thought some states were just for show, not for votes. She ignored regular workers while hanging out with movie stars. She acted like being president was her right, not something to earn. And when people didn't vote for her, she called them mean names.
Our foreign policy has been a disaster for our country and the world. It's resulted in the deaths and injuries of so many of my brothers and sisters in uniform, devastated entire countries, millions of lives lost. Yet, despite this damage that you have done to our country and the world, you want to continue your failed policies, directly or indirectly through the Democratic nominee.
Tulsi cuts through that moment like it's super easy because it shows who Hillary is. Someone who thought regular people would just give her the presidency. Then there's her time as Secretary of State, which Tulsi sees as a big mess. Benghazi's a huge problem from her time. People died, and she didn't take it seriously. She made excuses and acted like rules didn't apply to her in front of Congress. For Tulsi, who was a soldier, that's not just politics, it's personal. And the email mess? Hillary deleted stuff and set up secret systems like a spy movie. She made nothing to hide sound like a big joke.
I think that the Democratic Party leaders, people like Hillary Clinton, people who've been in charge for a very long time, foment this kind of culture of fear and like, hey, if you go against us, like, you're dead, 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 you're dead.
Hillary acted like security rules were just ideas she could skip. She thought she could do whatever because she's Hillary. Tulsi says that's just being full of herself, not caring about trust. That attitude lost her respect, trust, and the White House. Hillary says she's all about helping women, but Tulsi shows that's not true. Hillary uses that idea like a costume, only when it helps her look good. Tulsi points out how Hillary talks big, but pushes people down when it suits her. And then there's Bill Clinton stuff. Hillary's always cleaning up his messes. His scandals, like the Monica Lewinsky thing, are tied to her story. Tulsi just mentions it quick, showing Hillary's career is about fixing his problems.
It's time for you to acknowledge the damage that you've caused. And it is long past time for you to step down from your throne so that the Democratic Party can lead with a new foreign policy, which will actually be in the interest of and benefit to the American people and the world.
Joining us now with reaction, Congresswoman, 2020 Democratic candidate, war veteran herself, Tulsi Gabbard. Congresswoman, first, thank you for serving your country. And
thank you, Sean.
Hillary's foreign policy is another big topic for Tulsi to talk about. She supported the Iraq War and pushed for big changes in Libya that went wrong. Tulsi, who's against endless wars, calls out Hillary's love for jumping into fights. Hillary treats war like a game, move some pieces, take out a leader, done. But Libya turned into a huge mess, with problems like terrorism after her plans. And Hillary even seemed proud of it, like it was a win. Tulsi compares that to her own real experiences as a soldier, showing the difference.
What's Hillary Clinton like? You're probably the only person in this room who would know.
It wouldn't surprise you to know that she's not too fond of me.
She hates you like the devil hates holy water.
So, when I resigned as vice chair of the DNC in 2016, specifically so that I could campaign against Hillary Clinton in that Democratic primary.
The biggest hit from Tulsi is how Hillary never says she's wrong. Every mistake, every problem is always someone else's fault. She blames the Russians, the FBI, the media, even the voters, everyone but her. Tulsi shows how Hillary acts like she's never wrong, no matter what. Hillary's like everything people don't like about politics, secrets and excuses. Tulsi takes apart the idea that Hillary's a big deal or a hero. She says Hillary's not about progress. She's about keeping things the same.
That's exactly right.
What do you know about
If you
that?
remember when we go back and Hillary Clinton's emails were really making headlines in a lot of ways and for a lot of reasons.
And missing him.
Yes, exactly. And so when people look at the newly declassified Durham appendix, you'll see a number of quite shocking statements in there coming from people like then DNC chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, talking about how, and I'm paraphrasing here, but Hillary Clinton's emails were deleted just in time.
What makes Tulsi so good at this is how chill she is about it. She doesn't yell or make a big show. She just lays out the facts. One by one, she builds the case until Hillary's big image falls apart. Hillary spent years trying to seem strong and like a winner. But Tulsi shows she's just coasted on being famous and messed up big jobs. Hillary wanted to be the first woman president, a history maker. Instead, Tulsi makes sure people remember she lost to Trump, even with everything. Every time Hillary pops up again in books or speeches, it reminds everyone she can't let go, even when her time's up and Tulsi's words hit harder. Tulsi just holds up the truth, and Hillary's own story does the rest.
I was at, I think it was the first debate, the first primary debate that they had, first or second. It was one of the early ones. And I was doing an interview with MSNBC outside the hall of the debate. I think it was in Miami. And I don't remember who the host was, but I could see them and hear them in my ear. And they said, Tulsi Gabbard, you're coming out and criticizing Hillary Clinton and her foreign policy record. Aren't you afraid of what she'll do to you? He asked me this on live television on MSNBC. And you're laughing. I laughed too. I was like, no, I am not afraid of what Hillary Clinton can.
Hillary's had everything: fame, rich friends, media love, and her own big name. But she's used it to keep herself up, not to push new ideas or help people. Tulsi points out that someone with so much didn't really change anything. Not laws, not how people talk, not progress. She just kept things the same. Tulsi's words hit hard because she shows the difference between being real and being fake. Hillary, with her practice speeches, is like a machine that's all talk. Tulsi, who's been a soldier, brings real experiences and tells the truth. It's not just a fight, it's a clash between old ways and demanding better. Hillary says she gets regular people and their struggles, but it's not true. Tulsi stands strong, tired but brave, telling it like it is, not just going along. If the question is who's the future, someone who shakes things up or not, Tulsi's clear. Hillary, with all her big dreams, is like a statue of the old system, too stubborn to change. Tulsi doesn't just knock her down, she shows why she's already falling.